Now, welcome back. Dasterdlyy is back, and we got a good, topic that is actually more prevalent than you would imagine, and it is model meets photographer. Model photographer discuss shooting. They build chemistry. They get together, and what we're going to talk about is that last stage right before pictures could be taken and you meet. And there's a term known as model flakes, and you hear model flakes more than you would hear photographer flakes. I mean, that could be the case, but right now we're going to focus because it's more prevalent on the model side. But we're going to talk about when you finally build a rapport with a model. You have the chemistry, you have the dialogue, you have the plan, the plot, and all it takes is the execution. And you would be surprised how out of all those steps, that last step, execution, and this is not even before the photographer gets to shoot, because before that they never get together, and that's the problem. And when I mean not get together, and I can speak from experience about model flakes, I could talk to a model for maybe 2 weeks. We can talk, on phone, we can talk through social media, we can talk through text messages. We talk, we get down the plan, we get down the plot. I could even, suggest gear that the model might need and might go out my way to bring this gear for the model. So I'm set, I'm ready. We have a date set. We all agree on a date, and everything is green lighted to go. You're all ready. You're happy on both sides, and you guys even communicate up into 24 hours before the shoot. And the photographer gets there. The photographer's there. Hour later, the photographer's there. 2 hours later, the photographer's there, and he hasn't heard not one thing from the model. Now, this is not even just a regular photographer model issue. This is etiquette, and it's etiquette in its finest, and it's etiquette all over the board, whether you're in the craft or not. And what I mean is, if you are setting a date to meet, you have a shoot plan. For one, just like if you have a date with somebody, if you can't show up, a no call, even if you're working, if you're supposed to be there on time, if you don't call, that's a no call, no show. That's bad. That's one of the worst effects, or the worst things that can happen, because the photographer done took the time. If he had a rental for a studio that he had to book, he had to put out money for that, and that's time lost, and sometimes that's money that can't get back. But not saying that everything will be better, but if a model would just, if you call before the day even starts, say you got a bad feeling, or say something's going on in your life, if you call, let the photographer know, and y'all can reschedule, that's good. I mean, granted, photographer, might feel some kind of way. Could have been hyped already. You might feel some kind of way because you wouldn't expect things to happen. But at least a common courtesy call is courtesy, which is the best thing you can do. But nowadays, you don't even get that for most models. And it's crazy, because you would think you would just meet the model the day before, a couple days before, maybe a weekend before. Some of these models some of the models you grew up as friends, some of the models from social media from a while, some of these models you might have been hanging out with, and like I said, you came up with a plot, ultimate design, ultimate plan, and the only thing you guys couldn't do was execute because you couldn't get down to the meeting place. It happens more than you know it. As a photographer, it kind of drains you, especially when you spend all week getting ready. You spend all day getting your lighting ready, getting equipment ready, and when you put out money for a studio and you don't get to shoot, I swear it is the most draining. And like I said, it happens. If I have to speak from experience, man, it's more than 50% of the time. So it's great when I can get a model and we connect and we're cool and we get to the shoot and we get to shooting. That's when the fun begins. But yeah, no, I don't know what the disconnect is nowadays. I don't know why, some model think it's the plan, good to plan, plot, and just, not show up the day of with no call. I've never understood that, because That's just it's kind of, more disrespectful or not, especially when somebody, is all into their craft and they take the time to get ready, or they take the time to get outfits together, or they take the time to even book a location. This person was ready, so it's kind of a disrespect more so, and I just don't understand why that happens more than not. In happy world, photographers link, models link, they get together, but I can't even tell you how many items that I got on my shelf that are, in my kind of wardrobe for any model or any potential, client I might need who can use some of the wardrobe. And I got purchases I made from models that we might have wrapped and discussed the business for like maybe 3 months and communicated very well. And then day of the show, you don't hear from the person. And, if you don't have the common courtesy to call, text, do something, or show some kind of attempt to at least, apologize, then, you can hit me up the next day and I don't want to talk. And you can hit me up an hour later and I might be so kind of disheartened, or like I said, I might feel slighted or disrespected. That kind of just goes the interest, and then you just kind of killed my imagination, which is going to hinder my creativity, which is going to mess with my whole function to bring something epic, which is what I'm trying to do. So, man, I wish that wasn't a great problem that we have. Maybe there is a 2% chance of photographers who don't have that problem, but I guarantee whether you're an amateur, professional, or you're just getting that craft, you are going to bump into that problem. Hopefully it's not habitual, but you are going to bump into that problem.